Now, this is a we listen, we don't judge episode, because what I'm going to be sharing with you, if you judge me, hi, welcome back to my channel. Yes, as you can see, we're back to our usual location and I'm so excited. I've missed recording here. But anyways, if you are just seeing me, if you're just clicking on any video on my channel for the very first time and you're seeing this face for the first time, my name is Praise Victor, and on this channel I talk about all things faith, mental health, relationships, and basically I just share my whole story, not my whole story, but I share my story as I navigate my early 20s. And if you really want to join me on this journey, let's say you're in your 20s or you're in your 30s, then this channel is perfect for you. Last week we started a series on friendships, and I actually got a few feedbacks from certain people in my life, and they're like, I'm really excited for this series. I'm like, I'm excited too. We're all excited. Anyways, last week, if you have not watched the first part of the series on adulting and friendships, you should absolutely check it out. It will make you think about your life, where you are and where you're going. And so basically I just shared a few questions you should ask yourself before you start rushing into new friendships. Today we are going to be talking about jealousy in friendships. How do you handle being jealous, right? How do you handle it when you have that feeling of jealousy, and like you feel like you shouldn't have that, right? Because they're your friends, you love them, you're happy for them. At the same time, you still feel that that's how I describe it. You still feel that feeling in your chest. Anyways, and because, like I said, on this channel, in as much as I share, I don't know if you call them wise nuggets, but in as much as I share stuffs on faith, blah 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 blah, mental health, relationships, and all of that, I do share them from my own point of view, from like what my experiences are, whether they are my current experiences or my past experiences. And so I had to go sit down in my own little corner and ask myself, young lady, when have you been jealous of your friends? And even though I'm in my early 20s, right, I realized that two major times, there have probably been other times when I've probably been jealous. And I'm coming on here and boldly saying it because, who are you kidding? Don't deceive yourself. I'm not saying everybody is going to relate to this, but I'm saying that there have probably been times when you've also felt jealous in your friendships, and it's not because you don't like the person. It's just how you felt in the moment. Let me just share my story. And so the first time that I recall that I was jealous was when I was in my, secondary school. Now, where you are, you might call that high school. And so there was this friend I had. I'm not going to share her name, so let's just call her Peace. So Peace and I were good friends. I mean, we still are friends. And Peace was and is a very beautiful young lady. But at the time, she was a very, very beautiful girl. And we were friends. And I realized that seniors always used to when we're together, it was just me and Peace. When we were together, I realized that seniors, both guy and girl seniors, maybe we leave the class during break time, we want to go to is it bursary they call it now? I can't remember. I want to go buy something, maybe like snacks. And then we'd go now, we'd leave the class and be walking together. And people would stop us along the way and they would compliment Peace. They would, try and make small talk with her, whether it's seniors, whether it's even juniors. They would compliment her, try and make small talk with her. And then it's immediately they finish making small talk with her, they just continue walking. They don't acknowledge my presence. I'm not even there at all. And I was like, okay, it's fine, it's cool. It happened the first time. I was like, okay, no problem. Happened the second time. And then I realized that there was this one time when I now noticed that, okay, young lady, something is wrong somewhere. It was when we went to get something at the bursary, and two seniors. They were lady seniors. They were ladies. Two seniors. They came to meet her. I was with her. I was right there. They came to meet her, and they were like making small talk. They complimented her, asked her the class she was in, asked her name and all of these things. And then immediately they finished talking to her, they just like, they did not even see that, oh, this is your friend. Nothing. They just went. And I was like, wait a minute. And I started asking myself, okay, now Chiko, are you sure? Are you that? Is it that you are ugly? Is it that you are invisible? Is it that? Because then when I was in secondary school, I was bullied because of my skin color. Like I'm very, very dark complexion. See, don't mind. Is everything that you're seeing is camera quality. I'm very, very dark. I'm dark in complexion. And so I was like, wait, is it that your skin color is making people not see you, or like? And then I moved from, am I ugly, to what is it about peace, Seth? Is peace the only fine girl? Is peace? That was when I realized, okay, no, something is wrong somewhere. Now, this is a we listen, we don't judge episode, because what I'm going to be sharing with you, if you judge me, anyways, you can even that's your issue, because that was me in the past. It's not who I am now. All glory to God. Okay, and so yeah, that's my first account. That's my first memory of being jealous in my friendship. The second one was when I was in university, and before I go. I'm so sorry. But before I share this story, I just want to say that for context, I went to 2 different universities before I finally graduated. Stress. But then in the second university I went to, I started from my second year. Instead of me to like start 100 level all over again, I started from 200 level. So in my first year in my second uni, which would be like 200 level. So when I was in 200 level, I had just got into the school, and so I had a group of friends that I used to study with. I know that they are going to be watching this video because we are still friends, and they never knew that I felt this way, but God bless you. You know who I am now. We're still friends, so let me just say public apology. I love you both. God bless you both. But they were my friends. They were actually the first friends I made when I got into uni. We were classmates, and we used to study together. When it was time for tests or exams, we would study together, and I was cool with it. Normally, I'm actually a lone wolf. Like, I have no issues being all by myself. But these ladies were brilliant. They were inspiring. I'm like, this is cool. It's not bad. Let's hang out together. And so we studied together every time. And then I was good. I was okay until first semester results came out. And out of the 3 of us, amongst the 3 of us, I got the lowest grade. And I was like, wait, you people should calm down. I know that I'm not dumb. I know that God has given me wisdom. So I'm like, what's happening here? We literally studied the same thing. And I'm like, I can't be the problem. How is it that I'm the one getting the lowest grade out of like 3 of us? I didn't ask them that question. It was just questions that were bubbling up in my head. And so because of that, I became jealous, and I started seeing them as my competition instead of me to just see them as friends, and just try and ask them questions like, okay, how did you answer the question in the exam? Because that was actually my first time writing exam in that course, and like there were still so many things I did not know, but I was so full of like I don't even know what to call it. It was jealousy or so full of envy that I did not even think straight. The next conclusion I came to was that, oh my God, even though we still studied together after that, in my head I'm like, I must pass you guys. I must pass you. When I entered first semester, I had the goal that I had a certain cumulative that I wanted to get. But first semester, I didn't get that. It's not like I failed woefully. My failure is like me getting a C. And that's failure, man. But that's my own perspective, sha. Second semester, I decided that, okay, you know what? I don't want to get the goal that I had set for myself first semester. My goal and my driving force in the second semester now became to pass them in all the courses. And I'm like, thinking of it now, I'm just like, that's apart from the fact that it's unhealthy, it's stressful, it's draining. Like, why would you do that? And I'm asking myself, why did I do that? I don't know. But second semester came, I began to see them as my competition, and then results came out. And guess what? You would actually think that, okay, because I changed the goal, that maybe I improved. I did not improve. It was like a downward spiral, like pew. It was terrible. And so that was like my second account. Oh, that's my second memory of me being jealous in my friendships. Moving on, I will still tell you how I dealt with those things. But I just want to, I know that I'm not the only person. I know that I'm not the only person that has felt jealous in friendships. And this is not to say that most people, because when I was actually researching for content on this episode, apart from the fact that I share my story, I also do research, right? And when I was researching, the only things I was seeing on jealousy was how to know if your friend is jealous of you, or how to cut people off, how to cut the toxic ones off. And I'm like, please, y'all should give me a break. Like, are you trying to tell me that you cannot sometimes be the toxic one in the friendship? Like, I feel like most people just try to absolve themselves or try to excuse themselves from the being responsible whenever they have shortcomings. There's no shame in having shortcomings as long as you own up to it and you change. Before I move on, let me just say this. Jealousy is not exactly a bad emotion or a good emotion. I think I've made a video on emotions before. I would link it. I've made a video on emotions, and I still stand by that emotions are just messengers. Whether it's anger, whether it's joy, whether it's sadness, whether it's guilt, whether it's shame, they are messengers, and they are trying to tell you in the moment what is going on in your inner world. And so whenever you feel jealous, jealousy is not a bad emotion, but the moment you begin to see that you are feeling jealous, you better address it. Let me not get ahead of myself. Anyways, and let's register that jealousy is not a bad emotion. It's just a messenger trying to tell you what is going on in your inner world. 3 major reasons why I feel like people get jealous sometimes in friendships. Number 1 is actually low self-esteem. Now, if you're this kind of person that you feel like, oh, your worth comes from external validation, then if you're amongst friends, like my first example, when I was still a teenager in secondary school, if you're like that and you have such low self-esteem, you feel like, oh, you're only worthy when people compliment you, or you're only worthy when people validate you. Then when people don't validate you and then they are validating somebody else, you feel like that's taking out of your worth, like it's subtracting from your worth or something. I'm like, that's not true. It's not true. It's not true. Whether people compliment you or not, you are worthy. Your worthiness should not come from external validation. The thing is, when you don't see your own value, when you don't know your value, you begin to determine your value based on how people treat you, or based on people's approval, just so you can feel worthy. So let's say you are worth, and this is not okay, let's say something is worth $1 million, right? And the thing knows that it's worth $1 million. If someone comes to meet that thing, let's just say, I don't want to say a human being because you're priceless, right? So let's say someone comes to meet that thing and the person is like, oh, I want to get you for just $100,000. The thing is no, that's I'm worth more than that. So I'm not bothered if you decide to move on to another person or move on to another thing, that kind of, do you get? So have that kind of similar mindset. Your worthiness does not come from other people's approval, and people acknowledging your friends or people complimenting your friends and they not acknowledging your presence. Sometimes it actually just depends on the mood that they are in. And let me explain further. If you're in a public setting with your friend or with your friends, and a stranger or someone just comes and walks up and is talking to your friends, and then they are vibing but they're not relating with you, it can be because they probably do not like the vibe or the energy that you're giving in that moment, and that's okay. If I'm out with my friends now and a stranger walks up to my table, to our table, and starts trying to make small talk with my friend, I would mind my business, because I don't like talking to strangers. First off, day your day, make I day my day. If you do not understand what that means, God bless you. But then I sincerely feel like you should not add meaning to things that really it's not a big deal. Like, stop overthinking it. Your friend's spotlight is in your darkness, okay? Good. Now, the second reason why I feel like we get jealous in our friendships is because of scarcity mindset. We have scarcity mindset. We feel like, oh, if my friend is doing well, then that means that reduces my chances of succeeding or winning in life. Like, who deceived you? Who told you that there is space for everybody to succeed? And I feel like this was the mindset I had when I was in university. I was like, oh my god, like in my early days, I did not finish with that mindset. Like, after 200 level, after this the thing is, after 200 level and I saw my second semester result, I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna stress anymore. I just want to be better than, my result of last semester. And that mindset shift was apparently all I needed, and I started getting all the A's that I wanted, and I didn't even read as much again because I gave up on reading, Jerry. I was like, this is stress, unimportant. But back to it. When you feel like your friends' successes, when you begin to see your friends' successes as, I don't know, as maybe confirmation that, okay, this is the reason why you are failing in life, or maybe this is the reason why you're not doing so well in life, it doesn't make any sense. There is space for everybody to succeed. This life is not just that there's going to be only one winner. We're all born to win at our different, our different spheres, our different callings, wherever it is we find ourselves. So don't have that mindset that, oh, if my friend is winning, or let's say, I say that if my friend is winning in this thing, that means that is why I didn't get that promotion, even though you are in like two different fields or two different niches. I recently watched a video on friendships while I was doing my research. I watched a video on friendships between, I don't know if you know J Booms on Instagram. It's always Instagram people always featuring in my YouTube video. But J Booms on Instagram, she was interviewed with her best friend, Ayoyinka Abolaren, I think. And then Ayoyinka said something. She said, when you love someone, you're not going to be in competition with them. And that's so true. Like, why are you competing? Even if you're in the same niche, even if you are doing thrift business and your friend too is doing thrift business, you guys are not competing. You are just make sure that you are both getting sales in whatever. Set your goals, they set their goals. Achieve your own goals, they achieve their goals. Everybody lives life, and we move. Last reason, or the last thing that I would say is the reason why we get jealous in the friendships is because we have such a weak sense of identity. And I feel like this plagues not only people that are jealous of their friends, but this generally plagues people that are jealous of others doing well in life, whether they know them or they don't know them, and then they begin to compare themselves. Now, if you do not know who you are, if you do not know whose you are, and if you do not know what exactly it is that you have been called to, then you are definitely going to get jealous when you see other people succeeding in their own callings, and you begin to just feel less of yourself. You begin to feel like, oh, you are losing in life. You're not losing. Let's say, for example, now, like you having a weak sense of identity. Let's say, for example, you have a close friend of yours is doing well in HR, and you see that, oh, they're going for conferences, going for events, they're getting promoted at work, they're doing so well. And so let's say you're probably just a writer, you're like maybe a freelance writer, and then you don't get gigs all the time. And so, like, you see your friend doing well, and you should admire that. You should be inspired by that. But instead, you are just going down this whole path of this whole rabbit hole of jealousy, and then it becomes envy, and you don't address it, and all of a sudden it becomes resentment. And then you now decide that, okay, you know what? I want to leave writing and I want to go to HR because you see your friend doing well in HR. Don't do that. Don't do that. Your friend succeeding and you just, trying to figure out your life and everything. It's not you being behind in life. You're not behind. You can only see when this issue of feeling behind comes up, it's because you are comparing yourself or your life to something or someone else's. Do you understand? Like, there is already a comparison. So when you say you are feeling, whenever you catch yourself saying, oh, you feel so behind in life, what is the measurement? Like, what are you using to measure whether it's you are behind in life, you are ahead in life, you are where you're supposed to be? what exactly, what are you using to, what's the scale of measurement, Abby? What's the English now? But how, what exactly, what is the determinant? And I feel like when you have such a weak sense of identity, it's also because you do not have your own personal definition of success. Especially in this social media age, you can come to the conclusion that, oh, success is, what you see on Instagram, flashy cars, big houses, dogs in the house, and that's not part of my success, don't mind me. But then you just feel like, oh, and because your friend has these things and you do not have it, then that means you're not succeeding. Have your own personal definition of success, and ensure that your definition of success is not dependent on external validation. Like, it's not extrinsic. So don't let anybody on social media deceive you. Have your own personal definition of success, and ensure that you know what exactly it is that you've been called to do per time, per season, and you be like, become faithful in that thing. Be a faithful steward of whatever it is that has been placed in your hands, or wherever it is you find yourself serving, right? Whether you're serving in someone's company, or you are serving people through your business, be faithful. See, when you know what exactly it is that you've been called to do, sincerely, you would not see your friends as competition. Because, okay, for example, now let me use myself as an example rather. One of my close friends, I think I even talked about him. I didn't say his name, but I talked about him in the first episode, of friendships, and he's entering the second one again. Anyways, my friend, one of my close friends, he recently got a new job, and I was so happy. Sincerely, I was like, this is good. I was so happy for him. Meanwhile, I'm here, right? I'm not even, to begin with, I'm not looking for jobs. And so, because I know that I'm in this season of my life where I'm not exactly job hunting, so I don't feel pressured. I do not feel threatened by the fact that, oh, my friend has a new job, or, oh, my friends are working, and then I'm like not working a 9 to 5. I'm not doing this and that. I know what exactly it is the Lord has called me to in this season, so I cannot be pressured. So sincerely, just know what exactly it is that you are supposed to be doing at this point in time in your life, and focus on it. Focus on you. Life is not a competition. Life is a journey. I mean, when you are driving, I'll get my car soon. But when you are driving, right, when you're driving on the road, you don't exactly see other people driving their cars and then you start being in competition with them. Are you guys going to the same place? Are you called to go to the same place? Is it the same IV you people are carrying? No. So just have that kind of mindset. Do you understand? In summary, what I'm just trying to say is, when you notice that you are being jealous of your friend, first thing, come clean. Like, come clean. Don't try and deceive yourself. It's gonna come up, and you're gonna have to address it ASAP, because the more it lingers, the more it transforms to envy, and then it goes to resentment, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't think I want to spend time with that person again. Not because they did anything bad to you, but because it's you that has that thing in your heart that you don't want to address. That green-eyed monster. That's what they call calm down. I'm not trying to be aggressive, but that's what they call jealousy. And I think it's from Othello. Yeah, it's Othello, William Shakespeare, that referred to jealousy as a green-eyed monster, and I agree with him. So whenever you find jealousy coming up, whether your friend shared a good news with you from like their life, or what's going on in their life, maybe they just got a new job, or they just got a promotion, or they just got a new house, a new car, or a new baby, or a new dog. Be happy for them. Be happy for them. And when you realize that, oh, there's something there, like a little tinge of jealousy, you need to address it. And in you addressing it, you have to be very honest with yourself and self-reflective. Of course, you say that, okay, you go to your little corner and you notice that, okay, I'm actually feeling a weird way, and you know that weirdness is jealousy. Admit to yourself that I'm feeling a weird way about this news my friend shared with me. What exactly is it about this news that I find triggering? Is it that whatever it is that they shared with me, I also want the same for myself too? Like, just address the elephant in the room. If not, he go trample on you. But sincerely, just address the elephant in the room with immediate effect. Another thing I'd say you should do is to reframe your mindset. When you have the mindset that your friend keeps on sharing good news with you, and then all of a sudden you start being like, why is it not me? Why is it not me? Why is it them? Is it only them all the time? like when I was like, is it only Peace? Is Peace the only fine girl? But in a more serious context now, because I'm not more a teenager, we're not teenagers, right? This is real life now. I mean, teenage life was real life too, Sha. But when you realize that you are starting to feel jealous, and then you are asking, why is it not me? Why is it not me? Refers the question, why not me, to like, okay, what exactly is it that they are doing that is getting them whatever it is that I feel like I desire but I'm not having? Ask yourself, what exactly is it what can I learn from them? Normally your friends should inspire you. I mean, if you don't have, like, instead of you turning their success story into like a form of competition, use it to be inspired. Be inspired by your friends. You should be. It should be a normal thing. Your friends should inspire you on a normal day. I mean, if you don't have friends that inspire you because of like what they do or what's going on in their lives, whether it's just even emotionally that they're being more aware of themselves, or whether it's like career-wise or how they take care of their body now, if your friends do not inspire you in one way or another, whether it's even on their faith journey, I'm sorry, I don't know, maybe you need new friends, I don't know. But I feel like, sincerely, I just feel like in a way your friends should inspire you. So reframe that mindset. Instead of comparing, be inspired. If you feel like being inspired will not help you, then I would suggest that you just improve on yourself. Now, I said that, I think I shared the story. Yes, I did share the story of my first year in the university. I was jealous of my friends, right? Instead of me to be inspired by them, instead of me to go meet them and be like, okay, what are you doing? How did you answer the questions? What did you do differently that I probably did not do, right? Just go and meet them. Like, why would you have pride when it comes to, like, pride should not even be existing in your friendship. Like, you should not be proud. You should not be too proud to say that, okay, I need your help. You should not be too proud to ask your friend, okay, what did you do that I did not do? You should not be too proud to say that, I'm sorry, even in friendships, okay? But anyways, that's not where I'm going. If you feel like you cannot be inspired by them, then just focus on yourself. Don't look at anybody again. Focus on yourself. And make sure, when I mean focus on yourself, I mean focus on how to improve on yourself. How can you get better? If you want the results your friend has, there's no problem, there's no issue. That doesn't mean you should turn it to war. Just focus on how you can improve on yourself. Like, the mindset shift that I had when I got to 300 level was that, okay, now I'm going to focus on doing better than, my past. Like, I'm going to focus on doing better than second semester 200 level. And it really helped me because they were no longer the competition. I became the competition. My past self became the competition. And the most hilarious thing is that every single semester after that, till I graduated in 400 level, there was always an increase in my CGPA. There was always an increase. So be like that. Apply it to your life too. It's going to help you. I'm serious. Genuinely celebrate your friends. Whenever your friend shares good news with you, don't just be like, okay, happy for you, must be nice. That's witchcraft behavior. I know that. I mean, you're a member of this community and we're friends, right? So I know that you don't have witchcraft behavior in you. It cannot be. It's not possible. I trust you. So whenever your friends share good news with you, even if it's like back to back, be happy for them. There's something. And I feel like whenever you notice that, oh, your friends are sharing such good news with you, you should know that, of course, Jesus is in the building. He's in the building. So you should even be expected that, your own is coming on the way. Like, you should have, I don't know, maybe it's only me that has this kind of mindset, but whenever I see that good things or amazing things are happening in the lives of my friends, I'm super excited. You see me, you would think that it's me that it happened to. I'm always super excited, and I'm always like, it just brings me to an awareness of the possibilities that exist in God, instead of me like focusing on this and that, and I don't do that. And I just want to end with this scripture in Matthew chapter 20. Don't worry, I'm not going to read the whole scripture for you because it's quite long. But if you have time, you should have time. Read it yourself from verse 1 to verse 15. But a little summary. So there's this man, he owns a vineyard, and it's Jesus telling a parable to his disciples, right? This man owns a vineyard, and then he goes out 6 a.m. in the morning to look for workers to work on his vineyard. He sees some workers, they make a deliberation, agree that, okay, $100, that's what, because $100 was like the day's wage, like it was a fixed price. So they said, okay, $100. That's what he will pay them, and they agreed. And so they were going to work, because work time was from like 9 a.m. to when? 9 a.m. to 6 a.m. 6 p.m. rather. I think I'm just guessing, but let's just say it was 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then after, when it's 6 p.m., they will get their $100 for the day's work. And so he went out 6 a.m., got workers. Then it was like, I don't want anybody to be idle, right? So he went out on the street again, and then he found people that were idle by 9 a.m. and he hired them. He said that he was going to pay them. What did he say again? Yes, he said, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give to you. And so they went their way. Then 3 p.m. he went out to the market again, did the same thing. Then when it was 5 p.m., that's like 1 hour to closing time, the man still went to the marketplace, and he still saw people that were idle, and he was like, you know what, come work on my vineyard and I would pay you. He didn't give them a stipulated price. And then now the day is over, it's time for him to pay everybody. And the first, remember the first people that he hired by 6 a.m., they already agreed that it was $100. So he gave them $100. However, he gave every single one of them $100. The one he employed at 9 a.m., the one he employed at 3 p.m., the one he employed at 5 p.m., he gave all of them $100. The ones he employed at 6 a.m. started arguing and saying that, sir, why would you do this kind of thing? We have been working here since morning. And the man is like, the owner of the vineyard is like, why are you being envious? Like, why is it, we already agreed that this is the price I'm going to pay you. So why are you being envious that I'm good to other people? And it got me thinking that I think I wrote something here in my jotter that I just want to read out. I said the first set of workers could have collected their wages, discovered the wages paid to the others, and been in awe of how generous the man was. Instead, because of the jealousy in their hearts, they resented the man and saw him as unfair. The state of their hearts prevented them from seeing the state of the manager's heart. So, what is your heart saying when God is blessing people around you? What is your heart saying when God is blessing your friends? Do you feel like some people do not deserve God's blessings, that's why you're jealous of them? Really, I'm just going to leave you with a question. How do you respond? How does your heart respond when you see God blessing others? When you see God blessing your friends? When you see God blessing even people that you think don't deserve it? Let me put it in quotes because I don't know what you're thinking. How do you respond when God blesses people? Yeah, because your friends doing well, their achievements, they are God's blessings. So how do you respond to that? Anyways, I really hope this video blessed you. I really hope it helped you. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe. If you haven't, turn on the notification bell so you'll be aware of whenever I drop new videos. I'm not promising that next week we would have a part 3 on this friendship. While I still have other things planned out for the friendship series, I'm not exactly sure that next week's video is going to be on friendship because the Holy Spirit might say I should share something else. So I'm not promising, but God bless you. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.